friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and I've got two things to do today. It's just going to be a talking head video. You're not going to see knives and stuff in this video. One, bad news for Canadian Cutting Edge, and I'm going to do a little rant about made in China. So if you're interested in either one of those, stay tuned. I will put a chapter in so you can skip straight to the made in China stuff if you don't want to hear my bad news. What's the bad news, buddy? The bad news is Canadian Cutting Edge as a business no longer exists. It's been killed. How did this happen? I got to give you background first. Many of you know, maybe you don't know, but many of you know that I live on a disability pension. My most recent job was with the school division as a computer tech. That ended about 10 years ago when my knee issues, my chronic pain, all the problems, health problems that I have, drove me to disability. My employer basically said I had to go because I was on strong painkillers plus being in pain and stuff. Are you okay? Are you a cat? Are you coughing up a fur ball? This is Bandit, my wonderful senior dog. Getting a little geriatric. You're getting a few health issues yourself, aren't you? Anyhow, let's put him down. So basically, I wasn't able to work. I've gone on disability, and I've been on permanent disability now for, like I said, a little over 10 years, and can't work. So the insurance for the school division, since it's a basically public job, is a not-for-profit insurance company that was set up. I'm not sure if it was at the government's bidding or whatever, but the school division, the Teachers Association, stuff like that, they started a not-for-profit insurance company for staff of public schools. And since I was one of them, that's where my insurance is. And they've got a nice long page talking about how they're pro the, helping the employees of the public schools. Anyhow, long story short, they told me I also had to apply for Canada Pension Disability so that they would pay less. I would get this much money, but if I got Canadian pension, then, some of it would be paid by pension and less money for them to pay me every month. And did that about 6 years ago. 7 years ago, Canada Pension, allows me to collect my pension, my disability pension, and still earn about $6,100 every single year before they start slowly reducing the amount that they pay me, a percentage of what I earn. And I apparently mistakenly believed from what I had read on the website for my disability insurance that they do the same thing. Turns out they don't. And I told them when I started, YouTube and stuff, and now they're telling me they're going to go back to 2018, and I need to pay back to my insurance, my health insurance. I need to pay back to them, my disability insurance, the gross amount of income that I earned from Canadian Cutting Edge. The gross amount. That would make me lose an awful lot of money. They haven't come out with the exact amount of money that I owe them. I still haven't done my tax return for 2023. So it'll be all the money that I earned there, plus all the money that I've earned in the first several months of this year. So I don't know exactly how much money it's going to cost me, but it's going to hurt. And it's going to hurt pretty bad. And so because of that, I've turned off monetization on YouTube. You probably noticed it already that there shouldn't be advertisements on my channel, but YouTube does all kinds of stuff. But there shouldn't be advertisements on my videos, which means also that YouTube is not going to do much to promote my channel because they make their money off advertisements, right? But no more Patreon because that's income coming in. No more YouTube memberships. No more anything for Canadian Cutting Edge to earn any money. So yeah, it's going to hurt, and it's going to hurt a lot. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I'm going to try to keep the channel going. I've got some knives now. I've got some more knives that are coming on the way. And, I'll try to get knives from time to time to review as I can. and it's no longer a business. So yeah, if you want to send me something to review, I'll accept it. But if you want me to ship it back to you, that's going to cost me money again. So it probably won't work that well if you want me to pay for shipping and stuff. At least not this year, because money's going to be tight. Very tight. Very, very tight. I'm not going to get into more of that. That's what's going on with Canadian Cutting Edge. So I'll try to keep the channel going. Probably just one video a week. It might be less. It very unlikely will be more. And, it's been that way for a couple of weeks now, because I first found out about this about a month ago, but they still haven't done a ruling on exactly how many thousands of dollars I'll have to pay them. So there's that. So thank you so much, those of you who have supported the channel, those of you who helped out. Please continue to do so in ways that you can. Hit that like, hit that share. Get a share link, even if you don't send somebody the link. Oh no, don't let anybody from YouTube hear me say I said that. They don't listen to these things. Maybe they do. I don't know. Share the video, like the video, watch the videos. Let it play in the background. Turn the sound off and let it play or whatever, to help out so that more people might see my videos. Although that doesn't help me at all. I was doing this channel primarily for myself, for my own mental health, to give me something to do other than sitting in front of a screen myself 24/7. Well, other than sleeping and stuff. Because it can be a very, very boring life when you are sitting at home and not able to work. There's times when I feel good enough to work, but most mornings I'm nauseous for most of the morning because of some of my health issues. Sometimes the middle of the afternoon, like right now, it's coming up on 1 o'clock in the afternoon, is generally a pretty good time for me. And then in the evenings, my pain has been ramping up all day, and so I can still do some stuff every once in a while, but most of the day, there's not that awful much that I can do. So when I am able to do stuff, I want to do something, something preferably productive, something helpful to others. That's enough of me ranting about that. They've used up a bunch of minutes already. Okay, the second thing that I want to do, a little rant about made in China. I get comments and I get emails every once in a while. This is going to be targeting a tiny, tiny proportion of people who watch my videos. Not the vast majority of you, not my regular viewers. If you've viewed more than 10 of my videos, more than 3 or 4 of my videos, you know that I review knives predominantly that are made in China. I've reviewed knives that are made in Spain, made in New Zealand, made in the United States. I've reviewed knives from a lot of different places, made in Czech Republic, made all over the place. But the majority of the knives that I review are made in China, and I get these comments, I'll never buy a knife that's made in China. Or another comment, Chinese, it's junk. Sure, you can have that opinion. And I generally leave those comments up. If people make disparaging remarks against me for reviewing something from China, I'd delete those. It's just the way I am. But let's talk about made in China. First, do me the honor of watching the rest of this video before you comment on the Chinese issue, so you can hear both things that I'm talking about. Let's talk about this. There's 2 main reasons I think that people don't like made in China products. In this context, it's knives. First one is the quality of Chinese products it's terrible. No, you're just plain wrong. You're just plain wrong. Yes, some of the products made in China are terrible, but I dare say some of the products made in Canada are terrible. Some of the products made in the United States are terrible. Some of the products made, put any country in that blank you want, are terrible. Some of the products made in China are great. Some of them are really good. Some of the stuff made in the United States is simply stunning and awesome. Very, very good stuff is made there. We've got some very good stuff made in Canada. A country isn't a company. And even within a company, some products that company X makes are less quality than other products that company X makes. So I think it's simply silly to say made in China equals junk quality, and just as a blanket statement. I know when I was a kid, my dad would say some stuff like that about Japan. At the time, we were probably closer. Yeah, I was closer to World War II than I was to 2024 in my age. And stuff made in Japan then, there was a lot of junk coming out of Japan and being dumped into the West because Japan wanted to make money. And Japan was one of the Axis powers, one of the enemies of the West, when at the same time, China was one of the allies. China was helping us fight Japan back then. And I was closer to that time in my years than I was to 2024. So it's very short-sighted to say that everything made in country X is junk. I've reviewed a lot of knives, and I'm not going to show knives right now because I'm not going to promote one specific knife over another. But a lot of the knives that I reviewed are really good quality. They're just plain made well. Some's junk. Yep, some is junk. So you need people like me. You need reviewers. You need reviews that you can find online to help sift through, is this item, this one product, is it junk or is it good? Or is it somewhere in between? That's why I do Canadian Cutting Edge, to help you find the good, the better quality stuff that's still at a reasonable price so that you can buy it. So the first argument, it's junk because it's made in China. That's just silly. It's a fairly immature response. Second issue, though, has way more nuance and is much more complicated, and that's the political argument. I don't buy made in China because of the humanitarian issues, the way they treat workers, the inadequate pay that they give to workers. There are political reasons to not like China. Secondly, they're not an ally of Canada or the United States or any democracy out there. They're not an ally of any of us. So there's reasons to not like to buy products that are made in China. I simply ask you to review your own life. Do you buy other products that are made in China, but you comment on videos saying knives made in China? No. Because I know that you do. You simply do. Manufactured goods, I dare say over half, probably over 3/4, probably over 90% of the manufactured products that you have purchased in the last year are either made in China or have essential components that are made in China. It's just the way it is. Do you have an iPhone? Made in China. Do you have a Samsung? Well, that's in the last 5 years. I think it was 2016 they stopped, 2019, they stopped making phones in China. They're mostly made in Vietnam and India. But, a lot of products, especially if it's got electronics in it, it's made in China. You buy a vehicle made from the big three North American companies, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, one of their cars, you've got made in China parts in there. You bought a Tesla? Well, the vast majority of the parts in your Tesla are made in China. You bought a toaster? It's probably made in China. A TV? It's probably made in China or made with a lot of Chinese parts. You're buying made in China. That's my point. So be consistent. Have the integrity to tell yourself the truth. I buy stuff made in China. You do. Just tell yourself the truth. So it seems a bit hypocritical to say, I buy stuff made in China and then leave a comment on my video telling me that made in China. No. You can decide what you buy, of course. But why don't you spend the time instead? If you are anti-China, Just be consistent in your application of how that impacts your life. If you don't want any products made in China, do that. You're going to be living in the woods by yourself, chopping wood with an axe, but you can do it. If you want to, you won't be watching these videos. My point is, don't behave like you're holier than me because you're anti a knife that you see on my channel because it's made in China. I'm just sick and tired of it. Now, I know the people that really need to hear this probably won't see it, but I just feel like venting anyways. The people that most need to hear it aren't going to see this. They'll just see something in the heading of the channel, of the title of the video, and they'll leave a comment without even watching it. Most of them, but that's just the way it is. Instead of wasting time leaving a comment, write your elected representative in whatever country you are. Write your elected representative and tell them you want more domestic made goods. You want less goods from China. You want more stuff from your ally countries and your home country and less from communist countries or, whatever country you want to list. You want less from there. You want more from closer to home, from countries that you support. Let them know that and just keep writing to people and stuff and keep talking about it. Do that instead of wasting time leaving comments on my videos. Be consistent. If you refuse to buy a knife because it's made in China, be consistent. Refuse to buy anything that's made in China. Thank you for those of you who are concerned about me. Thank you to those who are helping me out if you can. Help me out whatever way you want. I forgot to say earlier, I will be doing a knife sale fairly soon. I'm going to be selling some of my personal stuff as well because I need to earn, I need to make some money. I need to get ahead to start paying back some of that money that they're going to take from me because I'm fighting it every way I can. So don't bother leaving suggestions about how I can fight it because you don't know the specific details. I've given you a very overview kind of thing. And yes, I'm doing everything I can to fight this, but there's not a lot of hope. Not really. It's just the way things work out. So thanks again. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I will show a knife. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now. Oh, you want to know what knife this is? This is the CMB Knives, CMB made knife Kissimmee.